Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin. And I am Kevin, and this is my coffee. And yes, today I'm feeling blessed. Blessed. Just come back from a wonderful weekend. Got to see some cousins I haven't seen in person in years. We took a road trip from Tampa to Houston. Anyone have any idea how long that takes? It's a little bit of a road trip, that's for sure. Let's see, with 9 is like 16, 17 hours of driving. It's yeah, it's quite. But fortunately, on the Panhandle, we had a respite in Destin area. Got to stay and stop at a friend's place, both ways, going there and coming back. So it cut the travel in half. So it was nice. It was really nice. But doing all that driving and doing all that traveling, and lots of things go on, lots of dynamics. Okay, is where to stop, how long to drive before you stop, how you do your time management in your head, and how time actually feels in your body. It was a lot of really interesting things that went on, and it really I loved it. I loved it. Some people don't like to travel that much, and I used to drive and travel all the time. Matter of fact, when my wife and I were dating, I call her up in the morning and wake her up early and said, "You want to go out for breakfast?" And she says, "Sure." And I drive from Lowell, Massachusetts to New York to have breakfast. It was a beautiful route to drive. It's all about the driving, by the way. It was all about the travel and not the end result. We'd find some place that was half decent. There was no, but it was the trip. It was a trip that's there. And for many, many years, we go on trips and family would call them mystery rides because truthfully, it was all about the trip and I didn't care where we were going. We just went. We got in the car and we went. And we figured out where it was we wanted to go halfway there or something like that. It was pretty cool. And you know what? You can make things cool in your mind too. You truly can. You just have to work in and thinking of what jazzes you. Now this driving is not for everyone. But this ability to say in your head, okay, how am I going to perceive what I'm doing? And are there any interesting ways to look at what I'm doing? And that's where you can make almost anything interesting. Almost anything interesting. So today is April 23rd. Oh my goodness, we're almost through April and into May of 2024. It is moving. It is moving fast. Again, we'll go with that time thing. It's like a few weeks back, about a month or so back, every week after every week, I'd look at it and say, wow, already Friday. And the weeks would be passing by so fast. But the weeks were passing by so fast without me getting the things done I needed to get done. And all of a sudden, I made that decision. I don't know if it was an epiphany or what I had to do. I made that decision to switch and say, okay, and I've got to get things done. And now I look at the week and say, it's Tuesday, not Wednesday or Thursday. And I feel good about that because I still have so much room to get things done. A lot of people would say, I want this week to fly, but you don't want it every week to fly. Because before you know it, the year's over and what have you accomplished? Before you know it, the year's over and what have you accomplished? So April 23rd, the biggest thing on April 23rd, it is Shakespeare's birthday. I believe it was 15, hold on, 1564, because I figured it out. It's 460 years ago he was born. So And what many people might not know is he died on April 23rd, too. So if we're looking at births and we're looking at deaths for famous people, Shakespeare died 52 years later on April 23rd. One interesting fact about Shakespeare is that over his career of 20 years of writing sonnets and writing plays and stuff like that, he wrote 1,000,000 words. 1,000,000 words. And think of when this isn't the time of the internet where now today we can just type forever, and even now today we can get AI to help us with what we're creating. He wrote 1,000,000 words back then. It's just amazing, phenomenal, phenomenal. I was looking for a quote from Shakespeare that would be good for this, and the only thing I could come up with is to be or not to be. To be or not to be. In personal development, that means a lot. Do you want to be yourself? Do you want to do things that you like to be or not to be? And it's not all about what we're doing so much because we are human beings, not human doings. So it's not all about that. It is about being, which will bring back so many other different themes for personal development about being present, about mindfulness, because that's what you're being. You're being mindful, not doing. So there's a to be and not to be. Famous quotes from Shakespeare. From you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone want to write in, correct me if I'm wrong. Hamlet, I believe. So yeah, yeah. I'm gonna only Shakespeare is the only one that the most significant one to talk about today. Now, what is our quote? What is our theme for today? Our quote is follow your passion. Nothing, not wealth, success, accolades, or fame is worth spending a lifetime doing things that you don't like. Not wealth, accolades, or fame is worth spending a lifetime doing things that you don't enjoy. This is by Jonathan Sachs. Now, I don't always do this, and most of the time I recognize the authors. I didn't know who Jonathan Sachs was. I didn't know if it was from Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever it is. And so I looked it up. Jonathan Sachs, also known as Baron Sachs, was a chief rabbi in a certain sect of Judaism. I didn't even know there was a such thing as a chief rabbi. But it was pretty interesting. And he was born in England and later became Baron Sachs. And that's more of an English Lord Baron Sachs, more of an English title. But he had done a ton in his lifetime. And so this is one of the themes. This is one of the themes. Follow your passion. Follow your passion. You've all heard it before, haven't you? But the whole thing is nothing, not wealth, success, accolades, or fame is worth spending a lifetime doing on things you don't enjoy. We all set a target, especially when we're younger, when we're in high school, when we're in college. We set a target for what we think we want. And oftentimes, as we're going off after that target, we realize, yeah, maybe this is going to be something that'll make me money, make me successful, make me this, but I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. And so, yeah, I'm going to go back to my earlier words here. I'm going to go back to my earlier words is if you don't like doing it, good morning, Larry. If you don't like doing it, then time's going to go by really slow. If you love doing what you're doing, however, and here's an old axiom that's over use sometimes. If you're if you're in a career and you're in a job that you love doing, it's not a job. It's just a wonderful passion. It's just a wonderful passion. And I feel blessed. I feel blessed. I'm gonna have another sip of my coffee because what I get to do is not a career. It's not a job. It's my passion. I get to use tools like NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and hypnosis to help people get over their obstacles, get through their obstacles, get around their obstacles. I help them just go past their obstacles in some way. And when I help them do that, they become that person that they really wanted to be. They, their obstacles can be stress and pain and all sorts of different emotional things, which prevent them from living the life they want to be. So, in a way, I help them so that they're free to follow their passion too. And I believe, and I've said this before here several times. I've used it as a quote. I believe we're here on this earth for a reason, and I think the reason is to help others. We're here on this earth to help others, and sometimes we help others through our actions. Sometimes we help others through what we say and do. There again, our actions, or just as a model is what I wanted to say. People will look at us and get inspired sometimes, or we actually support them and help them, or we can write, or we can talk. We can do a lot of things to help others. There's lots and lots of ways to do that. I believe we're here on this earth to do so. Just following your heart and doing good for yourself and others around you will help many, many others. Sometimes the stuff that you do has a much wider impact. Sometimes you help a person who then goes out and helps many. We never know. We never know. But I believe we're here on this earth to do that. And when we can follow our passions, our own passions, maybe our passions are woodworking. You're going to say, well, Kevin, how is that going to help others? Well, even if you're woodworking for yourself, you're making things of beauty that inspire others. And if you're woodworking for others, you're creating things that others can appreciate and have all of their friends in their circle appreciate and be inspired as well. There's any little thing, there's that butterfly effect, right? And when you're working out of your passion, that butterfly effect can go so, so far with those wings of the butterfly. Yeah. I just love talking about this, and I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about personal development. I'm passionate about helping people become the people they want to be. I'm so fortunate to be able to do that. I'm so fortunate to be able to have learned the skills to be able to do that effectively. Otherwise, I'm so blessed. It's what I love to do. So if you're not doing what you're passionate about, find your passion. Start doing it. You don't have to jump in full time. Find your passion. Start doing it on the side. Start doing it part time, and let it steamroll and let it really envelope you as a person. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Otherwise, spending a lifetime and doing things you don't enjoy is just not worth it. At the end of your life, and sometimes we look at things and we want to look at things from the end. We want to look at things from the end to know how we got there. And if at the end of your life, you can't say that you really enjoyed most of your life, you can't say that you really were passionate about the things you were doing in your life, how are you going to feel? How are you going to feel? I want you to, I want you to, just for a moment, if you can, Think about getting towards the end of your life, getting older, and looking back and saying, I really enjoyed that. I am so blessed. I'm so fortunate that I got a chance to do things I was passionate about. If you could think about that, think about looking back over your life and find out what those things were and what you did. More than likely, a lot of that stuff you were passionate about involved helping other people. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Because that's what life's all about. Is we're here to help other people. It's such a great feeling when you can do that. Passion comes from the heart. The heart is seen as another brain. I know the gut is seen like the second brain, but they've done some studies. They've done some studies where they found pulses in the heart, blips in the heart that are just neurons firing off that happen even before they happen in the brain. Meaning the heart has some attachment to decision making that we're doing. If anyone wants to look it up, you can look up heart math, and you find out a lot about that study. So our heart, which has always been associated with love, in history of man and all the writings they talk about the heart associated with love. Love is associated with passion. So follow your heart and what you want to do. All right. Today I was so fortunate to have found this wonderful, wonderful quote. If you want to follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can follow the quotes that I post all the time. And I talk about the same things I do here. All right. I want to wish you all a fantastic and passionate day. Fantastic and passionate week, as a matter of fact. And I'm not just wishing it for you. I know it's in your power. I know it's in your power to make it that if it's not already that. Make your day fantastic. Make it passionate and enjoy life. Until next week, we will see you later.